Hi, it's me again. Should we bring it a little closer? I feel like I'm a little far. See, now that's it. Excuse my greasy hair. But I stopped washing my hair every day because I'm trying to have healthy hair. Should I just put it up? I'm gonna leave it down. I don't care. Deal with it. My hair is greasy. Alright, before I start the video, I do have my computer here with my notes. Just so that I stay on track and this video is not like 3 hours long of me like getting in my feelings. Today's video, I'm talking about joining us. Okay. It's hot. Oh, should I turn the fan on? Okay, well, hopefully that works. Hopefully that cools it down. I want to make sure this video is not like 4 hours long. I'm getting in my feelings. So I made like a bullet point to talk about it. Did I already go over this? I'm gonna get my Pepsi. I got my Pepsi. I also closed my screen. He's smelling. And I have my dogs in here. You can't see him. Because he's on the ground. He's allowed. Do you want to come up? But here's the thing. You can't just show your butt the whole time. Yeah. I don't think he's going to come up. You can come up if you want. I changed my mind. You can show your butt if you want. You can come up. Just saying. Actually, I don't know about that. I can see it being a little distracting to just have a beautiful doggy butt in the video for the whole video. So, but he loves it there, so like I'll just move. I'll move. You can stay. Even though we all love a good dog in a video, but like, you can't always get what you want, you know? Me being like, I don't want this video to be so long. Also me spending literally 20 minutes talking about my dogs, but. So today, I'm gonna be talking about joining a sorority and also saying why I left my sorority. And I just wanna say, it's nothing against the sorority itself. It was my chapter. So basically, sororities exist in the United States, like country, like across like all colleges. So like say your sorority is like, I want to come up with like a fake sorority name, but I know I'm gonna end up mentioning like a real one. Say you're like Alpha, Beta, Kappa. Say that's your sorority. And you're at one college, that is your chapter. And there are other colleges that also have that sorority, and that is a different chapter than your chapter. Does that make sense? I'm trying to explain sororities to people who don't have sororities, because like I don't know who's watching this. And basically, typically a sorority is all girls, and then a fraternity is all boys. My sorority happened to be a co-ed. There's a but. You just have to deal with it. My sorority was a co-ed sorority, so that means any gender could join. I don't want to give away the name, but like if you really look into it, you can probably figure it out. But like, who cares really? It was a marching band sorority. I'm in marching band. Shout out to my marching band friends. So we focused around music and service. Typically the service was like helping the marching band, like organizing stuff for them, all of that. To us, we were all in the marching band. To be in the sorority, there were like requirements, and you had to have been in marching band to join the sorority. But if you're in marching band and you join the sorority and leave marching band, you can still be in the sorority. There's just like, for first semester, you have to do something musical, because we have like music credits, but if you're in marching band, that kind of takes care of them. And so like second semester, when there's no marching band, everybody has to do music credits. So if you're not in marching band, but you're still in the sorority, first semester you have, I'm like really going in depth. No one cares. I was in a marching band sorority. My freshman year, I was like, I'm not joining sororities. Like my sister did it. Hi, it's me. I just wanted to clarify. I'm talking about my birth sister right here, not my sorority sister. Thank you. Just don't confusing, you know. Thanks. We'll continue. And like that was her thing, and she loved it, and like that's so great. But like I just knew, like for me personally, like sororities have never appealed to me. Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go to college and join a sorority. I was like, I'm gonna go to college and join marching band, like, you know. So like it wasn't like a thing for me really, and like there was no sororities that I was really into, and like my school is a very, very small school. I go to like a little music school. We don't have many sororities, and we don't actually have houses, and like there's always drama with the sororities. It's like ridiculous. And all right. Sorry, there's a dog outside, so it might get like really loud really quick. So like let's just take a breather, okay, and let's take a chill pill. I'm specifically talking to you. Why? Yeah, he's part beagle, so like he barks all the time. Oh, you don't like those dogs. They're like bulldogs. They're so pretty though. Anyway, yeah, I'm not my sorority, and so I'm in marching band, and they start hyping up the sorority, and there's a ton. It seems like I'm in a smaller marching band. There's only like 120, 140 of us, like rough estimate. So like yeah, it's a smaller band. But a large majority of the band seemed to be in the sorority, and like it seemed to be all like the fun kids, like all the kids who are like really close to each other seemed to be in the sorority, and it was co-ed, and I was like, okay, that's like kind of cool, but I still wasn't really gonna join. But a girl in my section who was also a freshman, the dog is back, she was like really into it, and so she was like, you should come with me to the like, they have like recruitment events, so like they'll have ice cream or they'll have cake or games after band practice, and you could go and like ask about the sorority and learn about the sorority, and like I'll do it, like hang out with the sisters and just like get to know them and see like, oh, like, do I want to join the sorority? So she was like, you should go with me. And then like we had the person who was driving us to band practice, she linked him in too, and like as much as I want to like could be easily be like, that's why I joined the sorority, because like she made me, like she pushed me into it, like it was like a joke that like we all like me and the driver boy joined the sorority. I just don't want to give out names, just because she did. Like she pushed us to join the sorority, which is like, she pushed us to look more into it, but I don't think she didn't really push us to actually join. Do you get what I'm saying? But it was like always a big joke, and like me and her actually ended up being twins, which means we had the same big, and we were in the same crossing class, which is when you actually join, everyone who joins with you is in the same crossing class, and you have like a little name. We were Alpha Rho. That's what we like, that was our like sigma. I don't know, it was really stupid. She had us go to these events, and we went to every single event, and through that like I became friends with a lot of the sisters. I'm gonna be like seniors, but like, so I ended up actually really liking it and really being into it, and they sang. And because we are a music sorority, they like practice that, and like they sounded like really good, and like I wanted to be part of that because like I was never in choir, and like band kids can sing too, you know, like band kids are really good, like band kids are good at singing, like literally like choir coming at me, but like band kids sing. We can read music. It's me again, choir kids, please don't come after me because I'll probably cry. Thank you. Like I was like, okay, it seems pretty cool, and they go on these like retreats, and it seems sick, and like it was pretty cheap to join, because like you have dues, and so each semester you pay your dues, and I think it was like $120, which sorority wise I can't speak, sorority wise like that's really not that much. Like there are some sororities who like really get up there. And like let me look up the average cost. Enjoy my BTS stickers that I made printed out and like taped to my yeah, okay, so like it's like they range from 100 to 1,000. So like your sorority dues can be like $1,000, and that's like chapter dues, national dues, Pan-Hellenic, which like I don't know what that is because my sorority was not Pan-Hellenic, and so I think that makes it a lot less expensive. We didn't have a house, although, okay, this is confusing. So I mentioned how my college, the sororities don't have houses and the fraternities don't have houses. I was actually a part of a sorority of a neighboring school, because I don't march for my school because my school does not have a football team. We do not have a marching band. I march for the school that's literally right next to mine, and I was in their sorority. So they could have, I guess, like done like a Panhellenic thing or like gotten a house, but we didn't, like, because we weren't, which like I don't know what, I like do not know physically what that means. I don't understand it. I'm not a pro on sororities, okay, like clearly. I don't even know what I was talking about. Okay, let's just move on. The dudes were cheap. It seemed really cool. And I was like, you know what? Like, why don't I just try? Like, my freshman year of college, I really was like, oh, I want to try as much like as I can because I want to like get the full experience of like college, you know? So the process of joining, you go to all of these events and they're like recruitment events. And then there's a final recruitment event called Formal Tea. And basically you show up, they have like little snacks and like iced tea. That's like required unless you really can't go because you're like really, really sick or like out of town or whatever. Then you have to like email the president. But like it's basically like you have to go. And then everyone, even if you're a sister or you're like a prospective member, like is what you like called yourself, you would stand up and you'd like say your name, like what your section you're a part of, like what school you go to, because we have a ton of schools coming in from like to be in this band and in this sorority. Like a weird like fact, like what color would you like fart out, like something so fucking stupid. And then you like sit down and everyone does it, and you sit at a table and you meet people, and then they show this like sorority video that like someone made, and it's like all the sisters like having fun and like blah blah blah. And like, let me tell you, before I joined the sorority, I really thought everyone was like best friends, and it was like this really like sorry. Should I leave that in? A part of me thinks I should, but a part of me is like, do not. Anyways, I really thought it was like this huge family, like they all loved each other and like all were friends. And like obviously, like I figured like there's got to be some drama somewhere because like a group of college kids, like you're not gonna have drama. And like but I figured like they all liked each other at least. Don't you have drama with people, but like you get over it and like you still like them. That's what I figured. Boy, was I wrong, but I'll get to that later. And then that night, so you leave Formal Tea and you have like, it's like 24 hours or something to fill out this form that they sent out, like a Google form. And there's all sorts of questions on it, like, oh, what does marching band mean to you? What does music mean to you? Like what's like your passion? Like, what are your interests? Because they're trying to like get to know you in case they do bid on you, and then they can pick a big for you. And they asked like what's your favorite like drag queen? Like they try to have like quirky questions, but they're like not quirky. There's like really generic quirky questions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Formal Tea happens on a Saturday at like between 2 to 4 p.m. You do Formal Tea. Then the form goes out once Formal Tea is over. So that's like latest 5 o'clock Saturday night. Okay? You fill it out. You have like about less than 24 hours to fill the form out. So it's like, do you want to join or not? You know, like whatever. Then the next day on Sunday, which is normally like when our sorority has chapter, the members of the sorority get together around like, I remember ours being earlier in the day, probably like 4 o'clock when we voted. But typically chapter was not that early. But then, so the members of the sorority get together and they open the Google Doc and they go through everybody's application, like bid form. And so basically, if you sent in an application, we all would look at it and we'd all talk about like, so they'd go through the form and they'd pull their Facebook, but we didn't look through their Facebook. They would just pull the Facebook up. And then basically it was, you had to get more than like 50%, something. It was like a majority vote to if you wanted this person to be in the sorority or not. So after each person's form, we would have a discussion and you would raise your hand. Like, or no, you wouldn't raise your hand. Would you raise your hand? I really can't remember. There's this thing called Robert's Rules that we followed, and I used to know them pretty well, but I don't anymore. It's been a while since I've been to a sorority meeting. And basically, we would discuss the member, and then once you end discussion, normally like we would set a limit for like 5 minutes, and if there was like an issue, we would like propose to extend the time. It's like it's official shit, like but after that, everyone puts their heads down. It's an anonymous vote, so just the like one dude who's official name I forgot.
It's me again, hopefully for the last time. It's the parliamentarian. Thanks, I'm smart.
But he or she is, because my sorority was co-ed, would be the only one who like knew who voted for what. So everyone would put their hands down, and typically we did like a thumbs up, so everyone put their fists in the air and then had their heads down, and then if it was like I do not remember that like correct lingo, but they'd be like, do you want this, if you want this person to receive a bid, put your thumb up, and you put your thumb up. And then if you don't want the person to receive a bid, put your thumb up, and you would put your thumb up. And you have to do both because some people don't vote and it fucks up the numbers, and it has to be like majority, like it's not majority of the sorority, it's the majority of people who vote. And then you can also have like people to vote for you if you're not going to be there, but whatever. And then if they vote for you, then later that day, once voting is all over, they send people out to different locations. So you get like an assignment, like you're going here, and you go there, and whoever is living in that area, you knock on your door and they sing. And I missed night singing because like it wasn't my dorm, because I was at like a mandatory meeting for all freshmen at my school. But then I got back, and like our little symbol was a type of animal, and I saw it on my door, and it was like, man, there was like a little letter, and it had an email on it, and it's like, if you would like to accept your bid, then like email this person saying you accept your bid. And so I was like so excited, and like I put on my little Snapchat story, and I was like, I got like a sorority, and I accepted my bid. Whoa! And so, but here's the thing: once you accept your bid, you're not in. Now you're rushing, okay? Now you're rushing the sorority. So to get into my sorority, for my sorority, the requirements were you had to interview every member of the sorority. We had to interview our like chapter representative to district or something. It was this like old guy who had graduated college, but like he was something. And we had to interview the band director and an alumni. So in our sorority, when I was rushing, there were a little over 50 people in the sorority, and then the other interviews. And you have a couple weeks to get these done, and like typically you spread them out. I did all of mine in the last 2 weeks. The tea was, so I was rushing, and as I was rushing, I was like, kind of had this like come to Jesus moment, like, do I really want to be in this sorority? And I was having these meetings with these people, and they were going fine. Like they were like called interviews, but they really like, you went and hung out and you like learned about each other. Yeah, like I was having these interviews, and I was like, I don't know about this. And oh God, another requirement was that there's a test that every member has to take, and it's about the sorority, and it's honestly really hard. But after your like first couple attempts, you're allowed to use your study guide, but you have to fill out the study guide. You also, as a rushing member, you have to pass, there's 2 like quizzes and then an exam, and you have to pass the quizzes 80%, the test 100%, but like you get as many chances as you want. Like it's not a secret, but like you get as many chances as you want. I'm sweating to be in here. Okay. But I was interviewing these people, and I was like, I don't know if I want to be in this sorority. And then like unfortunately, like I lost someone really close to me in my life, and like as a distraction, I was like, I'm gonna do all these interviews right now in the last like week. Like I've done like literally probably like less than 10. I think I had done like 7, and then I did all of them because I just did not want to have any free time. And I finished them. And then the night that I was being like inducted into the sorority, I like called my mom up, because that night you had to pay dues. I called my mom up, and I was like, joining a sorority tonight. Like I'm in, I gotta pay $120 tonight. So like, please give me money. And like my mom was really excited. And by that time, okay, so there's like, oh God, throughout, once you have received and accepted your bid, and then getting accepted into sororities, there's different degrees. So there's like 1st degree, 2nd degree, and 3rd degree is when you are like officially a member, and there's like these sacred ceremonies, and like I'm not gonna say what happens because I'm not a bitch. Like unless you're in, like, you'll only know if you're in the sorority or have been in the sorority. So like I'm not gonna like obviously say everything that happens, but So at third degree, you become a member. That's not a secret. Like, it's common knowledge. And so I became a member. Yay! Yeah, I didn't know, like, what happened after you became a member of a sorority, because they didn't tell us anything. So, like, I joined the sorority, and then all of a sudden it's like, where are your credits? Your credits are due in a week. And I was like, my what? Who? So sororities have credits. My sorority had sisterhood credits. Second semester had music credits. First semester you didn't have to get music credits if you were in marching band. And service credits because we were a music and service sorority. So for service you had to get like, I really can't remember. I think sisterhood was like 4 credits. So you had to go to 4 events that a sister was in. So that could be like a play, a poetry reading, art show that they have like art in, like any like creative musical thing that they're in, like a concert, whatever. But it had to be like an official event. It couldn't just be like, oh, I'm like busking on the street, guys, come hang out. Like, that was not, no, it had to be like an official event through like a school or something, or like a like orchestra, like you get what I'm saying. And then service was like things the sorority was supposed to set up. They never ended up setting anything up, and it was really hard to get to them if you didn't have a car, and I didn't have a car, so like, and then you would like clean the band building or like whatever, and like you had to get like 6 of those, I think. And then music, second semester was like, I remember being 2 credits, but then I remember also turning in my music credits and them not being enough, and I was like, what? So it was more than 2 credits because I thought it was 2 and it's not. I want to say it was like 4. But again, first semester you didn't have to do that. And so second semester I didn't know there was a music credit because no one told me. I love my life. But yeah, so you have to get credits once you're in. I always got my credits last minute. Except for the semester before I quit, because then I was really behind that semester and I didn't get like all my credits in. And like when you don't get your credits in, basically the executive board of the sorority, so like president, vice president, secretary, the other guy whose name I don't remember again, but he like, carries this, oh, I can't say that. I think I can say that. All those like people, like it literally, like think of like the president and like all of his like all of their like little like boards, and like that's it. Throw it in, but like make it a sorority. They get together and they vote, and most of the time it was just like, oh, you had 1 sisterhood credit left, and it'll just like go over to the next semester. But like say you didn't do any of your credits, then they were like, they would talk to you and be like, why, like did something happen? Like literally they never really like let anyone off the leash completely, because nothing was ever, it was mostly just like, oh, I was really busy, like I forgot, like oops. They would lessen the amount of credits if like you really like had a ton of them. If you consistently have credits, like you're not completing your credits consistently, like bye, you know, like you'd get suspended, and then if you don't get off suspension, you get expelled from the sorority. So after I joined, you get into like, also like sororities have like families, so like you get put, your big is in a family, and like if that's your big, you get put into that family, and they all are supposed to have like similar personalities to you. And they're like, our sorority was always like, our families aren't cliques, like we all love each other, like our like this isn't a clique, like we're not a cliquey group of people, like fuck, shut up. They were so, it was so cliquey and it was ridiculous. Everyone hated each other. I hung out with people in my family, and some like friends who I had made before I like was in my family, I like would still hang out with them, but like you would have like family hangouts and no one else was like allowed to come, even if they were in the sorority. It was like, well, this is like a like fam like hangout, so you can't like, it would just be weird if like you can't, like it's so fucking bitchy and cliquey. And I like, and they were every meeting, like at the end of each like chapter meeting, which is like every Sunday or whatever, they'd be like, okay, like we're doing sister bonding to like fucking like make sure that we're not cliquey, guys, like we all want to know each other and love each other. And I was like, bitch, you just took me out of a group chat like 2 days ago because I like didn't have this like wasn't in your clique anymore. Like, what? Like, it was like so fucking stupid. And it was always like, I just spit. I'm sorry. They always like had these things after our chapter meetings, and I was like, this was 2 hours long for no reason. Like, everyone in the chapter, they'd be like voting on something, and someone would like, I feel that we shouldn't do this because I feel it would just disrupt the flow of the chapter, and I feel like it would just like really not go with our chapter and our sorority beliefs. And someone else would raise their hand and be like, I just feel like we shouldn't do this because it doesn't feel right and blah, blah, blah. And they would say the same thing, and then they would start fighting with each other, and I was like, do you like know you're saying the same thing, or do you just want to fight? And that's why your chapter meetings were 2 hours long. And then after, they'd be like, let's all like write on these paper plates about each other and like write nice things and be like, you're awesome, like have a great year, like. And I literally threw mine away. Because it was stupid. It was all like, you're so beautiful, like inside and out. Like, and I was like, I don't need this. It was stupid. And so I threw it away. It was also like, it was literally in a paper plate. And I was like, I'm not keeping this. Okay? Call me a bitch. But like, I didn't want a paper plate. Oh, okay. So in this is the tea, and this is when it like affected me the most. So in my sorority, you could be in other sororities and also be in our sorority. So we had a lot of sisters, and everyone was called a sister. Even if you were a guy, it was a sister. So our sisters were, some of them, there's a select few who were in different music fraternities and sororities. And these were like the Panhellenic, like the official like sororities of the school, you know? So here's the tea, was the people who were also in those were very like, we're just in this sorority, and like this is our main focus. If you're in another sorority, that means like you don't care as much about this sorority as we do. Like, it was very much like that. And they would talk shit about the guys who were in the fraternity and the girls who were in the sorority. But here's the thing that I noticed: the guys that were in the fraternities were never left out of events, because everyone still wanted to get invited to these guys' fraternity hangouts when it was like just the fraternity, because then they would end up inviting girls from our sorority. But girl sisters of my sorority who were in another sorority were like blackballed.
It's me again. I know you're sick of me, so I put in a picture of Namjoon from BTS instead. In case you don't know, sororities typically cannot throw parties, only fraternities can, and so that's why the girls were excluded and the guys were not. Thank you.
No one wanted to talk to them. They were like, most of them were in the same family. Everyone hated them. They were labeled as like a bitch. Like, no one liked them. And that was one of my main problems with my sorority. Thank you. It's so disgusting. There's more drama to talk about. Oh, okay. Oh boy. Okay, here's the thing. I have more sorority drama, so if you want to see it, I'll make another video, because I have enough. I joined the sorority my first semester of freshman year. I left the sorority my first semester junior year, so I just left my sorority. And basically I was like, I don't really like you guys, first of all. Second of all, like, it's not even just like our personalities don't match. It's like, you're a bitch. Like, you're plain out, like, you're mean. And I was very scared to leave the sorority. But when I left, like, probably like 10 other sisters left the sorority. And one of them was in my family. And my big at this time had also left. He was like, I'm out. This is some bullshit. Like, a lot of people left. And so I talked to my mom about it. I talked to my roommate about it. I literally remember like sitting, like, I had to talk to the president of the sorority about it. And like, we don't get along, but like, she was very nice about it. And I remember sitting with my messages open, and I was in this chair in my apartment, and my best friend, my roommate, was like, you hate this sorority. Like, is it really worth it? And I was like, but like, I knew what was gonna happen in the back of my mind. But I was like, maybe it won't happen. And so I texted her, and I was like, I'm leaving the sorority. You send in a statement, which I later found out from my friend. She did not read my statement. She read other people's. Apparently other people's statements were read, but like she did not read mine. So like it's so great. And I swear to God, like that second new group chats were made without me in it. And not like sorority official group chats, because I left the like official group chats and like my family group chat, which like wasn't an official group chat, and the unofficial sorority group chat of like all the sisters. Like I left them on my own because I was like, I'm not in it anymore. I'm not gonna be in it. Like it's just weird. But there were friend group chats of like our section, like the saxophone section and stuff. And I know that there's like other group chats made because all of a sudden I had my friend text me being like, are you going to the saxophone hang tonight? That, like everyone's invited to, like all the saxophones are like going. You're like, are you going to like band thing tonight? And I was like, yeah, I didn't know that was happening. But the boy in my family left at the same time, who also happens to be in a fraternity at that school, did not get kicked out of like the group, the friends. He was still invited, but I was not. And it's so blatantly obvious that like a lot of them are like do not like me anymore because I've left the sorority. And like I was like, I liked, like we were good, we were friends, so like at least I thought we were. So marching band became really rough, and I literally have 1 semester left in marching band. I'm gonna do it just to finish up my 4 years because I loved marching band. It was like my place, and if I don't finish it, it will piss me off for the rest of my life. And like, who knows? Maybe something good will happen for once, you know? I don't know. Maybe it won't. Maybe they'll stop like blackballing me because I love their sorority. Is that the right word, blackballed? And like, I knew that was gonna happen. And like, I will say, sometimes, like, I would hear about these parties and I just show up anyways. I said, fuck you guys. This is a marching band party. Why was I invited? I'm in marching band. Oh, when you blackball someone, you ban them from a group. Yeah, I was blackballed because I left my sorority, because I felt that I did not fit in. I felt, and like, I wish I had, do I have it? Hold on. Since my statement was never, oh, I didn't want to exit that out. Since my statement was never read, I am going to find it and read it for my own sanity. And I will say, like, I voted for the girl who's president, but we typically do not get along. But I will say she was very nice when I left. After I left, behind my back, I have no idea, I mean, what she was saying behind my back while I was leaving, but like to my face, she was very nice. And I mean, after, like, has she been the nicest to me? No. But has she been the meanest she could probably be to me? No. So like, am I like super mad? No, but like, you know. So she texted me and she was like, are you leaving? And I said, yeah, I decided to go inactive. We don't call it like quitting or whatever, it's going inactive. And I said, my statement, I kept it short and simple. I've really enjoyed the time that I've spent with all of you, and I will always cherish the memories I have made, but I no longer feel committed to this organization, and I feel it is best that I do not continue as a member of my sorority. And that was my statement. It was not read. I think that's a good statement. Reading it, I did kind of get emotional, which I know everyone's gonna be like, if you hated being in the sorority, why are you getting emotional? Because like, I did have good times in the sorority. Like, there were times where like, you're like, oh, I love this, but then I have like, weighing the good and the bad, there were more bad, and it was so stressful being in it. And like, I mean, my statement was 100% true in what I said, where like, I just didn't put in that like, I feel like I don't fit in with you guys and you guys don't really like me. Like, I didn't put that into my statement because I felt like it didn't belong. But the rest of it was true. Like, I did have a lot of really good times in the sorority, but it was not worth the stress that came along with it when there weren't so good times. So that was 47 minutes long, and I'm so sweaty, but I put on this sweatshirt because I'm filming this the same day I filmed another video, and I didn't want you guys to know, but I spilled the beans. I need to stop. I'm like all over the place, and my head kind of hurts. But if you want to say bye to my dog before we leave, hey, say goodbye. All right, so I'm glad you got to say bye to him. I hope you liked this video. I hope this doesn't turn you off from sororities, because again, I have nothing against the sorority. I think the sorority was amazing, and I did have a lot of really good times, and I did at some points like being a part of it, as I've said. But I definitely would give it a chance for yourself. Because you might really like it, you might find out that you really didn't like it. And I'm glad I tried it. Like, I can say to people, like, oh, I was in a sorority. Like, I did that, and I love trying, like, new things and, like, being adventurous, like, meh. But, like, it wasn't for me, and my chapter was not great. But, like I said, like, my sister was in a sorority, and she loved it. And I will say, I've never known my sister to be a bitch. I mean, to me, yes. But, like, I love my sister. But, like, to other people, like, my sister is so kind. Like, she's not the type of girl to, like, go behind people's backs. What was that? What was that? What was that? Oh, what was that? Who's it? Who's it? And just so that, like, I did have good times in my sorority. Like, there were some happy tears shed. And I was very, very emotional when I left my sorority. But I 100% think I did make the right choice in leaving my sorority, because with the happy tears came a lot more sad tears. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you think I'm funny. Because, let's be real, that's why anybody makes YouTube videos, is because they want to be told they're talented. That was a joke. I'm in a mood, so, like, I have moods. I have energy. You know how some people have mood swings? I have energy swings, and right now, I'm, like, at the toppest as I can go. So, like, I've never really caught myself on camera like this, so if you're, like, you're really different, like, what's going on? Like, you're kind of crazy. Like, are you okay? Are you on crack? No, I'm up here, where normally when I film, I'm at a normal level, but today, I'm at a crazy level, which is also why, like, I probably, the windows are open for light, but I keep getting distracted because I need to go on a walk or something. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave because now I'm just talking about whatever I want, and this video is already 52 minutes long. I hope you enjoyed it. I bought this new sweater. I hope you enjoyed the sweater too. I hope you enjoyed the clips of my dog. I hope you enjoyed my sorority story. I'm an outro, but I can sing to you. I'm not gonna sing to you. Bye!